Woo! We're back, folks. Okay, now here's the fun part. The fun part is finding out who is streaming Turtleboy's hearing. Now hold on a second. I need to employ the services of someone here. It'll just be a second, folks. I promise we'll be up and running shortly. Hey, can you do something useful for once and send me the Zoom link for Aiden's hearing?
What court is he in?
The big courtroom. Dedham. Same courthouse as Karen.
I have that one. Let me check.
Oh, my God. You're live, by the way.
You're a fucking asshole.
No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm awesome. I'm sweet boy.
Fucking bellend.
Can you just get the Zoom link, please?
I'm trying, dickhead. Yeah, I don't think I have one for that courtroom.
Oh my fucking God. Are you kidding? You see what I deal with, people? You see this?
Fuck you. About what you deal with. Oh, fuck a cactus.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you get the Zoom link?
I can definitely look.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bellend.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
See what I deal with? See what I deal with? Unreal. Now, let's try... Nope, not that. I don't... Then go to Young Jerks. I'm not asking Young Jerks for shit. Go there if you want. But I will get it and find it. I will find it and get it. Okay, hold on a second. TB's bond has not been revoked. Turtleboy's bond has not been revoked. Apparently there was a motion filed for apparently there was a motion filed uh to revoke it, and it's rumored to be for the reason that he wished or hoped death upon uh uh Brian Tully. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I DM'd Jess Machado, but I don't expect her to answer. She's probably very busy. Um, yeah, I completely agree. It is an absolute ridiculous waste of taxpayer money. Um, now, no, I don't think Mike has the wrong hearing on. I think that there's several cases on that docket, and it's a Zoom thing, so they're going case by case. No, Tully is technically a witness. So, I'm listening. If I can't get this Zoom link by the time, Aiden's case comes up, then just head over to Young Jerks, man. I'm not gonna be mad at nobody. Head over there. I want you guys to be informed. Um, so, yeah, it is what it is. Um, but, yeah, I just, wait, I got it. I got it, folks. This is gonna take me a second though, okay? Um, give me 1 sec. I'm going to, um, join Cherry came through, as she always does. Have I mentioned that Cherry's the best mod on YouTube? Why is it saying continue without audio or video? Okay, what is this saying? Oh, are you fucking kidding me right now? Okay, hold on. Why is it? Oh, got it. Easy fix. Easy fix. Okay. All right. Oh, fuck. I don't have a passcode yet. Fuck. I thought I had a passcode. I still don't have a passcode. All right. I'm just waiting on a passcode, guys. I don't have the password. Okay, I guess I don't need a passcode. All right. I don't have video though for some reason.
Oh, this needs to be muted.
Margaret.
Yeah, I don't have video.
Commonwealth.
No.
Okay.
I came through the court. I'm muted.
Section in here sucks.
We'll discuss the next date.
Not specific dates, but I think we're looking into July.
Free my boy Billy Tibbetts.
16? Yeah. So 16th works.
That's great. So, Mr. Gorman, your matter is continued to July 16th at 2 p.m. for a pretrial conference. And the court orders you to recognize in the sum of $5,000 cash and further orders the bail you posted in district court be transferred. And you are subject to the following conditions: that you remain the SCRAM monitoring, you are not to operate a motor vehicle, you are to stay away, have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victims, their families, and the witnesses in this case. You are to surrender your driver's license, you are to remain in the Commonwealth, and you are to sign a waiver of extradition before you leave today. Do you assent to those conditions, sir?
Yes.
and you are hereby notified if you're charged with a crime during the period of your release.
All right,
your
so it
bail in this
doesn't
matter may be
matter,
revoked
like,
in accordance with Mass
the
General Law,
video
Section
only
276, Section
shows
58. Thank you.
the judge
Would you
anyway.
like me to send them
I don't
across
need to
the
look at the
street?
judge.
You can sign the waiver with probation. They're across the street on the second floor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you,
Thank you, thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. And then I'll wait, like, when you come back, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
Next before the court, numbers 8 and 10, Commonwealth versus Aiden Carney.
There we go.
23 CR 313, 24 CR 0043. Mr. Carney is present and represented by attorney Timothy Brady. And I believe attorney Guerrero is on Zoom. Commonwealth is represented by a special assistant district attorney, Robert Cosgrove, and I believe attorney Mello is on Zoom. And the matter is on for a motion hearing. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good morning, good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm Robert Cosgrove for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradel on behalf of Aiden Carney. Good to be with you. To my left is my client, Aiden Carney.
And Your Honor, Mark Better, I'm on Zoom out of state on behalf of Mr. Carney.
Sure. And there's another attorney on Zoom as well?
Attorney Mello's name is here. Doesn't look like he has camera or.
Yes,
right,
good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Mello, Attorney Kenneth Mello. I'm the Assistant District Attorney, Special Assistant District Attorney, also assigned to this matter.
Okay, good afternoon. So there are a couple of motions that have been filed and other matters. Before we get into any of those, can I see counsel at sidebar?
Yeah, I wish I could get video, but I can't. So there's sidebar, but I can't get video. So it is what it is. Why I can't get video, I have no idea. All right, so we've got a sidebar going on, but I don't know what this is about. And if I had to guess, considering the rumors that are spreading right now, I'd say that it has something to do with the bail revocation, supposedly. But Georgia, Hello Kitty, thank you. Welcome to Logic. Yeah, make no mistakes, folks. This is a free speech issue. Okay. So far, Aiden has already had like 3 Facebook profiles taken away from him. He's had his monetization taken away from YouTube. He's had He's been charged with witness intimidation for simply speaking his mind. He's been jailed for violating his bail when he didn't violate anything.
Second call on Mr.
Set up.
Carney.
They have proof of it. Like his very attorneys that are representing him right now have proof of it.
Next before the court, number 5, Commonwealth versus Dylan Santos, 23 CR 106. Ms. Santos, do we have Mr. Spacey who was here? Assistant Chief, can we get Peter Spacey?
What's up, Nurse Kim? Thank you, plot twist pending. I appreciate it.
So, Ms. Santos is present, and, oh, that's not, nope, not you. Mr. Santos is right there. Mr. Santos, sorry. Yes. I apologize. Okay. Mr. Santos is present and represented by Attorney Peter Spacey. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant Attorney General Jennifer Kirschenbaum. The matter was scheduled for a change of plea. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Jen Kirschenbaum on behalf of the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon.
Peter Spacey for Mr. Santos.
All right.
What
how
the
you doing,
fuck
Mr.
is going
Santos?
on right now?
All right, so is this going to be a agreed upon plea?
It is going to be an agreed upon plea.
Okay.
However, we have just come to an agreement. I need, just with our office protocol, I just need a little more time to have formal approval for the plea, but we can do it well in
Got it.
advance of the
Thank you.
June trial date. So if that's something that's available for the court. We were looking for May 14, if that might be available.
I don't believe that's a good day, but it is a good day, actually.
Great.
Margaret, the only thing is we may be impaneling that day. Okay, so you want to put it at 3 o'clock?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you all do 3 o'clock, just in case we're impaneling?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do 3 o'clock.
I
All right,
guess
great.
I guess
you.
maybe
So,
Aiden's
I'm sorry,
defense
May
needed more
14th?
prep, or maybe the Commonwealth
So
needed
your
more
matter
prep.
is continued to May 14th at
Maybe
3
Cosgrove
p.m.
needed
in this
more prep.
courtroom.
Who knows?
Thank you very much for
But they
accommodating
pushed
that.
it.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Judge.
They pushed it to later on in this hearing. Whatever second call means.
One moment. Okay. Next before the court. Are we ready on Miss Obijo?
Thank you, Scott McGinnis.
Okay. Do we need Mr. Spacey for that? Okay, are you ready? Okay, this is number 9, Commonwealth versus Jaleesa Heel. Heel, I apologize.
B silent, the J is like an H.
Heel, thank you.
That's my maiden last name.
23 PT 213. Peter Spacey is our duty attorney, and she did ask that he step in. Probation is represented by Kia Brantley. The matter is on for a motion to terminate probation.
Pulled behind me because I thought, did they not know where to park? Did they think they were at the wrong house?
So my question is this: every time you went to the door, you texted something.
I'm not sure that I did. Yes.
Do you remember?
I'm not sure that I did. Sorry.
Do you remember a year ago testifying that every single time you texted, you indicated that you looked out at the SUV and saw something that prompted you to text something?
Am I aware that I said that?
Correct. That you
Could you-
testified to that.
Could you show that to me, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Take a look at the highlighted
Sure.
portion and just read that to yourself. Let me know when you're finished.
Okay.
May I?
Yes.
Ms. McCabe, does that refresh your recollection about the issue we were just talking about?
I see what's written down, yes.
Okay, did you testify in answer to the following question? And as a matter of fact, you looked every single time that you texted, you indicated that you looked out at the SUV and saw something that prompted you to text something, correct? Answer, correct.
I answered correct to that,
Okay.
yes.
So if you looked out, I'm sorry, if you texted 5 times, that's all I'm getting to, you went to the door about 5 times.
I'm not sure. I remember definitely going twice. And again, if I misstated or I said I went 5 times, 4 times, I apologize.
Well, do you think this testimony is in error?
No, I don't. I'm thinking with my memory, it was 3 years ago, and I'm thinking that maybe I wasn't clear on that detail of how many times that I went to the door.
And
What I
certainly,
can tell you I'm clear on is that I did go twice, and I saw it. I saw it straight ahead. I saw it at the flagpole, and a third time further up. I cannot say with certainty, with my memory today, that I was up at that door every single time. I'm sorry.
and then, and by the way, when you testified, as you just saw,
Mhm.
that was a year ago, correct?
Yes.
A year earlier and a year closer to the event, correct?
Yes, it
So
was.
your memory would have been a little bit fresher then than it is now, a year later.
I don't think I can compare my memory then to now.
You can't compare your memory? Do you think your memory gets better with time or fades a little with time?
Well, some things, unfortunately, I think about every single day with this case, the trauma of it
Sure.
and what I experienced and went through. And there are some things that I am certain I will never forget. And I know for sure where the car was, and I know for sure I sent those 2 texts, but I apologize if I misstated. I went out more than I did. I'm just trying to give you what I remember today.
Let's talk about those texts and
Mhm.
and you looking out the door. You did approach the door and you saw that the vehicle was there the initial time, correct? That's 1.
When I texted here, yes.
And you texted here, exclamation point, question mark. Is that right?
Correct.
And you indicated that when you first saw the vehicle, it was straight out ahead of you in front of the front door, and it was stationary. Is that right?
Yes.
Then you said you went back to the door and you saw that it had moved up, quote, a little bit. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Toward the flagpole. Is that right?
Is that the flagpole? Yes.
And when you saw that it had moved up toward the flagpole, then you texted again at 12:40, which has been stipulated to hello. Is that right?
When I saw it move up to the flagpole, I believe I texted pull behind me.
I got kicked out of the Zoom meeting and I can't get back in. Well, I'm waiting for them to let me in. So I don't know.
When you went the second time, and by the way, it's my mistake. I got I jumped over one. It was 12:31:47, which we stipulated to pull behind me. That's when the SUV was up closer to the flagpole, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Then you went yet again at 12:40 and saw the SUV yet again and texted hello. It was the second hello.
I'm not sure if that was when I texted hello.
But you did see that the SUV had moved again.
Yes.
Now where was it?
At first, it was straight ahead. Then it was at the flagpole, and then it was further up.
Then at 12:42, 2 minutes later, you texted, where are you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At that point, it was still up by the flagpole?
No, I'm not saying that it was still outside.
Where was it?
I'm not sure where the vehicle was.
At 12:45, you texted yet again, hello. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
You've indicated that was, you texted hello the last time you saw the vehicle. Is that right?
I'm not saying that today, no.
Well, did you say it previously?
In my testimony, did I say that the last time I texted? Do you have that written that I could see?
You just read it.
Well, that was your question that you had read to me. I never came out and said that.
Ms. McCabe, I asked you if you testified to that a year ago. That's my question. Did you testify to that a year ago, that when you went, every single time you went to the door, you texted something because seeing the vehicle prompted you to text something to tell?
That's a summary of maybe the,
Did you testify to that a year ago?
to what? That when I went to the door? Yeah, different times when I went to the door, I did text, yes.
And then you testified as well that you went to the door a final time and saw that the SUV was gone. It had left, correct?
Yes, at one point I did.
The judge isn't even at the
And that
bench
was
right
just a couple
now,
minutes
and
after
I can't get
your
into
last
the
text
Zoom.
at 12:45, is that right?
I'm not sure of the
They have
time.
not let me
Matter
in
of
the
fact, you
Zoom.
testified previously
Like,
that it was around
Host is joined.
12:50
We've let them know you're here.
that
That's
you
what it
first,
says.
I'm sorry, that you last went to the door and noted that the car was completely gone. Is that right?
I'm not sure of that.
You're not sure of that?
No, if you could show me, I'd appreciate it.
At some point, did you note that the vehicle was gone? Let's get to that.
Yes,
Around what time was that?
I do not know.
12:45, a little before, a little after?
I'm not sure. I can't give a time.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at how you testified to that particular time last year?
Sure.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. The highlighted portion,
Thank you.
Ms. McCabe?
Yeah, that's probably why they're not letting me in this time, because my mic wasn't muted at first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ms. McCabe, does that refresh your recollection as to what time last year you indicated that you went to the door and saw that the SUV was gone?
It says on the paper that I was asked if after 12:45 it was gone, and I answered correct.
Okay,
I never gave a time.
all right. And that coincides with the last hello that you texted to John's phone, correct?
Again, I don't have that paper in front of me. Is that the
Well, that's the
time?
stipulation. That's what you don't need to worry about
Okay.
that. That's been stipulated to. Your last hello text was at 12:45.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so that coincides, that testimony from last year coincides with your last text message saying hello. You noted that the SUV at that point had gone, had left, correct?
Correct.
So if I hear your testimony correctly, you saw the SUV in position 1.
Yes.
There was a text or something, or 2 maybe. Then you saw it in position 2. You went back to the door and noted that SUV had moved and it was now closer to the flagpole, correct?
We've just asked 2 questions.
It had moved closer to the
The
flagpole.
first question is, you said I saw it and I sent a text or 2. I know I just said 1 here.
Okay. Then you saw it a second time
Correct.
and now it's closer to the flagpole.
Yes, correct.
And there's texting going on. I'm not getting down to the minute of the text, but there's texting going on. You're sending text.
I'm sending, yes.
Okay. Then you went back to the door a third time and saw that it had moved beyond the flagpole, correct?
Correct.
Then, according to your testimony last year, you went back to the door at least a 4th time to see that it was gone, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so at bare minimum, based on your testimony today, you were at the door, looking out the window at that portion of either the yard directly in front of you, and in front of the house, or toward the flagpole, or beyond the flagpole, 4 times, correct?
From last year's testimony, but what I remember today
No,
with
Ms. McCabe, that's not
certainty
my
is
question.
twice.
You need to let her answer the question. Answer your question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. What I remember certainty is looking at it out front, at the flagpole and beyond. I don't remember.
But it would require some type of a committed sentence. That's as far as we got, Your Honor.
All right, let's leave it on for pretrial, then discovery is complete.
Yes, sure.
Okay, and
Okay.
you're ready to try it in that June date?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready for that. Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you,
thank you.
Mr. Murray, we'll see you June 18th at 2 p.m. for your final pretrial conference. Thank you. Next before the court, number 3, Commonwealth versus Christopher Guerrero, 18 CR 290.
Christopher Guerrero.
Mr. Guerrero is present and represented by Attorney Jessica Tripp. The Commonwealth is
I mean,
represented
might
by
as well
Assistant
listen to
District
these
Attorney
damn.
Jennifer
I'll
Blair.
go
The matter is
over
on for a final pretrial
Jennifer
conference. If
McCabe
the parties could please
cross-examination
identify
later
themselves for the record.
in a recap.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Listen to these
Jennifer Blair
cases
for the
in the
Commonwealth.
meantime.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jessica Tripp on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, who is present at the bar.
Okay, good afternoon. So this is scheduled for trial, May 6th, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're both reporting ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you talked at all about trying to resolve it prior to trial?
We had briefly in the past, but I don't think it's a matter that would be able to be resolved short of trial.
All right, and I did receive, just received the joint pretrial, and I know that Judge Cannoni had ruled on some motions in limine.
I believe all but one, Your Honor. The Commonwealth and I were just discussing it. It was, I filed it in October of 2024. It was a motion to allow me to question the alleged victim about prior sexual interactions with the defendant and the defendant only. Judge Krupp had allowed a motion to impound my motion, but no ruling was ever made on that. But I believe rulings have been made on everything else.
I can't mute it.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Blair?
Yes,
I can
Your
only
Honor.
mute myself.
All right, how long of a trial?
Well, actually,
assume for the sake-
so I'm going to stop this. I'll come back to it when Aiden's case comes on. But what I've got here, thank you, Cherry. I appreciate it. I've got this motion to revoke Aiden's bail here. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. So Commonwealth versus Aiden Timothy Carney. On March 6, 2024, after hearing a justice of this court imposed conditions of release of the defendant Aiden Carney and bail warnings were duly read by the clerk. Those conditions of release included an order of the defendant was not to contact either directly or indirectly any witness in his pending cases. Here we go. Lieutenant Brian Tully is a witness in Carney's cases. Specifically, he is an affiant for search warrants executed at Carney's home. A witness who has testified pursuant to the indictments subsequently issued by the grand jury. Why can't I? Okay. Is that it right there? I mean, why can't I scroll more? And he will be a witness at Carney's eventual trial. On or about April 26, 2025, Carney did a live video on YouTube during which he claimed, how do I get rid of that? Okay, Cherry, thank you for sending this to me, but you've got to send it in another format. This is fuck. All right, so Tully is the mastermind. Okay, Tully is the mastermind of all this shit. Fuck that corrupt piece of shit. It pisses me off that he gets away with this shit. Fuck him. He was rehomed, but he's still involved in my case and tried to have me locked up again last month. He can go get fucked. Him and his stupid wife and his stupid family. I hope they all fucking die in a fire. Fuck them. If found tomorrow that Brian Tully was burned alive in the most painful way possible, I would be so happy. Like, it would be awesome. It would be great. Wow. Yeah, so that's the whole thing, but it's not. Yeah, this is a terrible format. Turtles.
Anyone besides the defendant, I have no knowledge of that. So it would just specifically be prior instances, prior to this alleged incident involving Mr. Guerrero.
Okay. Ms. Blair?
Thank you. Your Honor, the Commonwealth would object to that information being elicited from the victim. It was years prior, and the Commonwealth would argue that whether or not this victim had a consensual encounter with this defendant years prior would be irrelevant to her consent on this particular day.
Okay, all right, I will take it under advisement.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you on the 6th.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Motion is taken under advisement. We'll see you May 6th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
proceed downstairs. Okay. So, there's one. That's a copy. That's Guerrero. Yep. I'm sorry. Timmy, wait.
And thanks for you guys who stuck around here, man.
You might as well take it
Appreciate it.
all.
Take it all.
I would.
Fuck all those fair weather motherfuckers that
Thank you.
took off.
Next is for the court number 16.
We
Commonwealth
don't
versus
need
Michael
'em.
Escolas, 24 CR 275. Mr. Escolas is present and represented by Attorney Joseph Cataldo. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District
has not
Attorney
been
Gordon
called back
McLeod.
yet.
The matter is on for a pretrial conference. Parties, please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gordon McLeod for the Commonwealth.
Attorney Joseph Cataldo on behalf of Mr. Escolas. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, it's on for pretrial.
Correct, Your Honor.
The status of discovery.
Your Honor, there's still some items outstanding. There is the full autopsy report that I'm just waiting for. I put a request in last week, so I'm just waiting for a response by the ME's office. In regards to the lab, I'm just waiting for their final report from that lab. I put a request in back in February. It's usually about 90 days, so that would take us to May 28th for that due date. I did file a Rule 17 for records from WCVB. There was a news clip as Mr. Escolas walked out of the barracks. I'm not asking for any action on today. I haven't sent notice to the record holders. I'm just asking for a date on that. But Mr. Escolas makes statements to that reporter in regards to consciousness of guilt. So I'm just asking for a date on that. The other item that I'm waiting for is the full CARS report. I just reached out to the trooper yesterday. He has some other stuff
Y'all can kiss my
to
Dominican
finish up
dick.
with the report, but it should have the full report soon. With that, that should be all the discovery. I gave defense counsel today an updated witness list with contact information. Once I get that lab report, I'll supplement that witness list with the lab personnel and with the autopsy reports as well.
All right, so do you want?
Yeah, I'm really worried about Aiden, man.
You can get notice.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Record keeper.
Correct.
Have you talked about a date?
We have.
Which is?
And we suggested dates would be the July 7 or 8, whatever is more convenient.
Well, not anymore,
July
Debbie.
7th is better.
Not
That'll be
anymore.
a pretrial hearing, our hearing on the Rule 17?
Rule 17 hearing, correct.
Okay. Is it Escolas? Okay, sorry about that. So Mr. Escolas, your matter is continued to July 7th at 2 p.m. for hearing on any discovery motions. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Next is for the court number 6, Commonwealth versus Devonta Jackson, 23 CR 233. Mr. Jackson is present
Does
and
that
represented by Attorney
come off
Robert
Dominican
Nelson.
enough
Commonwealth
for
is
you there?
represented by Assistant District Attorney Gordon Stanton. The matter is on for a final pretrial conference. The parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. ADA Gordon Stanton for the Commonwealth.
Robert Nelson for Mr. Jackson.
All right, this is on for May 6th.
It is.
If we could approach.
Yes.
Yeah, Aiden must be fucking panicking right now, dude. Yeah, like I said, I'll do a recap of the Jennifer McCabe cross-examination maybe later tonight. Right, yeah. I mean, the thing is like all we can hope for, we can, you know what I mean? Like the best thing that you could hope for Aiden is that he has good representation, and we know that he does. Like we know Betero is and Bradle are gonna fight for him. We know their heart's in it. Yeah, no, that's the same thing I have. The KP motion, it's the same thing I have. It cuts off. Has that damn thing there.
Mr. Jackson, your matter is continued to May 27th at 2 p.m. for a change of plea. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
With Sampaio. Next for the court number 7, Commonwealth versus Robert Sampaio, 23 CR 237. Mr. Sampaio will be entering the courtroom momentarily. He is represented by attorney Aaron Lazar. Do we have a, oh, there. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Amanda Mullaney. The matter is on for a final pretrial conference. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Amanda Mullaney for the Commonwealth.
Judge, good afternoon. Attorney Aaron Lazar for Mr. Sampaio. He's in custody.
Okay, he's being brought over.
Let's see. Concerned super chatting. I'm too worried to rant. Be calm, Blair. You speak for Aiden now till he can speak for himself. Do him proud.
Mr. Sampaio is present.
Listen, I don't speak for nobody, man. I appreciate that, and I know what you mean by that. I know the sentiment. I get it, and I appreciate it. It's nice. It's pleasant. It's kind.
Can we approach Sidebars, Judge?
But I don't fucking speak for anybody, and I don't think Aiden wants anybody speaking for him either. But I will speak in favor of him in this loudly because those are my genuine opinions. And what's happening to Aiden is an absolute violation of his First Amendment rights. And it's a gross miscarriage of justice what's happening to him right now. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to do everything I can. I'll use my voice as much as I can to speak on his behalf, but you know, I don't have that broad of an audience, you know? So, I mean, but I'm always going to do what I can. I have been since the first time he was charged, and I'll continue to do so. And I'm happy to, because I believe in what he's been doing. And I believe in Karen Reed's innocence. And if I'm not watching Jen McCabe's cross-examination right now, just waiting at the edge of my seat to see if Turtleboy gets to go home tonight, that should tell you how I feel about it. Because this is, I mean, you got to look at things as what they are, folks. What you've got right now is a bunch of coincidences. The timing is too coincidental. This informant comes forward with her affidavit and makes these claims about Kate Peter, and then Turtleboy says something that's no different than anything else that he's ever said on his channel. Nothing different. And he says these things about Tully just as this. And Jen McCabe is testifying right now. And in this affidavit, there's a claim that Jen McCabe threatened that she would not testify on behalf of the Commonwealth against Miss Reed if Turtleboy is not put in jail. And here, the threat of Turtleboy going to jail is looming over us at this very moment as Jennifer McCabe is sitting on the stand and testifying. That's what's going on right now. Let's keep this in perspective, folks, because I'm not going to let this go under my radar. These cannot be coincidences. I already went over the motion. The motion is just, it's what, and I went over the video too of what they're talking about. And he didn't fucking break the law. He didn't do anything. It's fucking infuriating is what it is.
Mr. Sampaio, I believe that is our list. The scheduling of the 58A was made over email.
Okay.
And the Maraj and all, there were no motions filed. They have a filing date of May 15th.
Okay.
So we are,
This is Nico Murray and Dr. Jackson. Sampaio, I'm going to leave right here.
okay?
And I believe
Lopes and
The records for Lopes and Sampaio, I'm gonna leave here as well,
thank you.
and for Mr. Carey, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. For those on Zoom, we'll be in a brief recess. You need it?
All right, please, let's stand in short recess.
Sorry about that, folks. I was sending out a tweet. Yeah, they're in a recess right now, so we're just waiting. Listen, I'm going to start hiding people. I'm going to go on a crazy hiding fucking spree. Okay? That's how fucking petty I am. They're just in recess right now. So we're waiting for this to come back. I heard on the hot mic that they were going to do, it sounded like there was 2 more people and then Aiden. 2 more cases and then Aiden after the recess. So yeah, I don't even know what happened to that shirt. I got to find that shirt. I had that on a shirt. Yeah, none of this is related to this case. We're just waiting on this other stuff here, but like nobody's even in the courtroom right now. So I'll scroll through Twitter and see what I can find here. It's just the usual suspects that I follow, man. They post some fucking wacky shit, man. It's really funny. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I think I'll do that. Sorry, I'm just going through these. And they're really funny. Oh, wait. All right, court's back.
Court now session, may proceed.
You want to do those other ones first? Yeah, let's do that.
Record before the court is the return.
No, him going to jail today is a legitimate threat, folks. Like, make no mistake about it. Like, yes, Turtleboy has the best possible representation to help him get through this, but there is a legitimate threat today that he will go to jail.
I just watched it.
Okay. Why don't we do whatever else we can?
I mean, the suspense is fucking me all up. I'm not even trying
So
to
my
lie.
apologies, I called the wrong case.
Yeah, you can just stay where you are. There's some other stuff we have to do.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna do Lopes with Attorney Bradel.
Attorney Curley.
Oh,
Attorney
she's,
Bradel.
yeah, she's asked me to.
Do that other one.
Okay, sorry, Debbie. Mr. Lopes, which is number.
Dude, and then there's a fucking fly in here again, dude. Like a big, loud, buzzing fly, bro. Drives me crazy. Yeah, I know. Aiden was called back. So I guess what they're trying to do is coordinate it because Bradel has another case, another client. And so they're trying to coordinate Bradel doing both cases back to back, doing both of Bradel's cases back to back. So that is, you know, that makes sense. It's just a question of it's a matter of logistics is what they're doing, is what it makes sense to me. So yeah, my anxiety is through the roof right now. Like I like I'm gonna be livid if Aiden gets locked up again, especially over that. Like, you can't talk about a cop. You can't talk about a cop that fucking searched your house, bullied your fucking, like, bullied you this whole fucking time. Used people that hate you to try to fucking pin dirt on you. Like, you can't talk shit about that person. You can't sit there and say that you don't fucking like them. And I got a PayPal from Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for the PayPal. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just realized that I didn't have my link scrolling. Well, Lindsay Tyler, I see what you're saying, but the difference is that Proctor isn't out on bail. You know what I mean? Like this is a bail revocation thing. Like the question is whether or not he violated his bail. And the judge did say, and I was at this hearing. This was when they slapped the extra charge on him about the you motherfuckers don't even learn, bro. When they slap this new charge after me and him did the T-Rex thing in front of D&E Pizza, right? I'm at that hearing and the judge was just like, hey man, chill out. Judge is like, you can't, don't go anywhere near D&E Pizza, and be mindful of the things you say when you're on your YouTube, blah blah blah. And so the question is whether or not this judge is going to feel as though Aiden violated that order. Like, because the warning already happened where the judge is like, listen, like, I don't want to fucking see you. Because the judge is like, I don't know, man. Like, where's the line between free speech and breaking the law? Where's the line? Now, hopefully, this is that First Amendment loving judge that
We want to do separate.
let him walk out that
Why
last.
don't we, let me just talk to the lawyers on that.
Okay, could the attorneys on Sampaio please approach?
Is that Aaron Lazar?
Aaron Lazar and Amanda Mullaney.
And I think it is
Number
him.
7.
But Mandy Reardon, thank you so much. Will, I feel like you need a big hug right now. I feel like we all kind of do. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so hopefully this judge will look at it like, how is this not a cop weaponizing his position? How is this not a cop? I mean, he's a cop. You're going to tell me that his feelings, you know what I mean? Like a police officer, a Massachusetts state trooper can't handle his feelings being hurt. You got to worry about getting shot at out on the street, and you're worried about this. Hopefully the judge looks at it that way. It all just depends on the judge, whether or not Aiden goes to jail today or not. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, I can't wrap my head around the fact that the CI came forward just last week. CI files a sworn affidavit stating that Kate Peter, that she overheard Kate Peter saying, or Jen McCabe saying, that she's not going to testify and say what Brennan wants her to say if Turtleboy is not put in jail. And I find it very interesting that Turtleboy is that while Jen McCabe was sitting on the stand being cross-examined, that Turtleboy has a motion to have his bail revoked. You have to be a naive, at least borderline dumb motherfucker to think that that's just a coincidence. Considering all the other coincidences that we've been dealing with in the past year and a half. Considering all of that, you would have to be one naive motherfucker. And I'm going to go back and listen to another stream and see if I hear something. But I'll do that when I'm on my own time. Because I'm curious about something. Yeah, but that's the thing is Bradel and Betterow could try to argue this, but it doesn't mean that the judge will be receptive of it. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, "Hey, don't worry about it," but the thing is that there's way too much fuckery that's taken place where I don't have enough faith that the judge will even hear this. I mean, I hope you're right. I just don't think you are. Yeah, like this testimony is going to hit different. This is just fucking bizarre, man. Get him, Clever. Get him, buddy. Get him. Fucker's driving me crazy. I feel like it's too fast for you, Clever. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come over here. Come on. Come on. Come up. Come say hi. Good boy. Such a good boy, buddy. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. I love you so much. Right. Again, it all depends on how the judge looks at it. It all depends on who the judge is and how the judge looks at it. You know? Like I think it's the same judge that was really fair that one time. All right, so Just Machado is saying that Aiden is next. Yeah, Dina, this shit's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I can't even believe this is happening. I had no idea today would be this intense. Like, I mean, I knew it would be intense because of the cross-examination. I thought we were just going to see a nice pounding of Jennifer McCabe by Alan Jackson. But the thing is we've also got this Aiden hearing, which I didn't think would be much. I figured it was just going to be a motions hearing. But now there's the threat of his bail being revoked and him having to go to jail for another 60 days or more. And it's all just an attempt to fuck up morale in Karen Reed's support. Make no mistake, Aiden's just a pawn in all that shit. You know what I mean? He's just a real big pain in the
Third call on
ass. A
Mr.
fly in the
Sampaio.
ointment. A monkey in the wrench.
Thank you for your patience. Recalling numbers 8 and 10, Commonwealth versus Aiden Carney, 23
Here we
CR
go.
313, 24 CR 43. If the parties could come forward and identify themselves.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Cosgrove for the Commonwealth.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Mr. Carney. Hi, Mr. Bradle.
Hello, Your Honor.
All right. What's the first order of business, Mr. Cosgrove? I'll start with you. I see counsel from New York is on as well.
Yes, Mark
Hi,
Bettero.
Mr. Bettero. Good
How are
afternoon.
you? Nice to see you.
Good. Okay. What's the first order of business, Mr. Cosgrove?
Your Honor, I think the first order of business, I would at least like to take up the issue that has been hanging for quite a while regarding the search of the seized devices and the memorandum that I filed in response to your Honor's order last time in opposition to what I understand to be the defendant's motion to screen other things besides attorney-client privilege, specifically reporter privilege.
Okay.
And I'm, as I was leaving for court this morning, I received a text from Mr. Carney indicating that he intended to rely for his filing on something previously filed. I unfortunately do not have that with me and have not been able to look at it. But as far as the argument itself goes, I'm more than willing to rest on my filing for the most part, particularly if Mr. Carney is as well. And I'm sure I reviewed that other document at some point, although it's not fresh in my mind now.
Okay. So what you're referring to is that there is a taint team that's in place.
There is a taint team in place.
That's Judge Macy, right?
Judge Macy is the evaluator, so to speak, of privileged material, what should be turned over and what should not. And Mr. Verino is the electronics expert that would actually do the search. And my problem, Your Honor, is that they fulfill their part as far as they could by returning within, I think, a week of Judge Krupp issuing the order, their acceptance of the order and the responsibility to undertake that. And as far as I know, the court has not forwarded to them the appropriate search terms. I don't know what search terms Mr. Bradle supplied or what they...
Let me just ask Mr. Bradle. Mr. Bradle, did you supply search terms?
I did, Your Honor. Document 67, I believe.
Number 67. Okay. Have you seen that, Mr. Cosgrove, or is that something that's outside your view?
Well, Mr. Bradle had permission to file them ex parte, so to speak.
Yeah, you know who's searching his phones?
If you believe that they might disclose something inappropriate to the Commonwealth.
So you want me to forward that to Judge Macy and to Mr. Verino?
Well, I don't know that I do, Your Honor, because I want you to make an evaluation first of the appropriateness of those terms, which the court is supposed to do under Judge Krupp's order.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll do that myself.
All right. I appreciate that, and I would say if the court wishes to hear further argument, at this point, I would say just forward it all to Mr. Verino, tell him there may be further instructions coming from the court.
Okay.
Because it's been, 4 months now?
Okay. Let me, I'll do that. I'll forward it. Okay, I'll take a look at what Mr. Brado has requested. If it's appropriate, I'll do as you request, okay?
All right, thank you.
Mr. Brado, anything you want to say on that?
Yes, thank you very much. So Judge, in document 67, it was just the original filing on this very issue where I asked for this hearing. And so in that case, Judge, there's a 1985 case, which I would kind of call it, had a long convoluted name. I would just call it the Petition for Protection of Confidential News Sources from 1985.
Yeah.
And it's still good law. And it addresses the situation that there's no statutory journalist privilege in Massachusetts. And it says that courts should deal with it on a case-by-case basis, as we are here, of course, and address issues as they come up. And just a quick quote from the case, Judge, is that this court should consider alternative remedies for compelled disclosure of journalist source material. And my client has informed me, and he has previously sworn in an affidavit in this case, that his phones contain journalist source material. All this wide swath of electronics that the government has seized in this case, that there are areas where there are journalist sources. And most alarming, most eyebrow raising, Your Honor, is that there are some instances where there are sources giving information on these very same state police actors in this case that we have been criticizing and pointing out errors and alleged corruption on. These people are the ones that are going to get this information. Not even like the FBI or a third party. This is source material on the people that Mr. Carney has been criticizing in the Karen Reed case. So I can't think of a more important case where a court ought to craft an alternative remedy for compelled disclosure than this. We have these conflicted officers who have, we contend, perverted the witness intimidation statute for their own goals, and now they possess my client's electronics, and they're going to go through them for source material on their own wrongdoing, their own misdeeds. It's unbelievable. It's like a John Grisham novel, Your Honor.
It's totally like a John Grisham
This court is in a position to say, time out. Under the Petition for Protection of Confidential Sources, I can craft a remedy here. In fact, I think it's the court's duty under the First Amendment in Article 16 to craft a remedy and say, time out. The taint team is going to be sworn in under oath. They're going to provide information relative to the search warrant, relative to the court orders, but they may not provide any journalist source material, in this case, to the Commonwealth. And if there is an issue with any such material, it will be isolated off to the side. The court can look at it in camera, along with the defense, sort of like a Lumen Martin type situation, Your Honor, and we can take it from there. That would be my request on that. And I think under that case, that would be the appropriate remedy for the court to address here.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
No, I get it. All right.
Can I?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, I heard Mr. Bradle say that Mr. Carney has produced an affidavit claiming that journalist sources are contained within these electronic devices.
Yeah.
I don't claim to never miss something, Your Honor, but I don't think I've seen it. So I would ask for some specification of where
Yeah,
that.
Mr. Bradle, is that part of in-camera Exhibit A?
Judge, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I want to say it's probably 30 or 40 documents ago, but I'm happy to get it to everyone when I can get to my files.
Okay, that's fine. Why don't you do that? Why don't you send a copy to Mr. Cosgrove and send a copy to Attorney Stanel?
The second thing I would say, Your Honor, is that, and I'm not necessarily opposed on principle to making new law, but I think I'm correct in saying that if the court rules that the taint team screens for anything other than attorney-client privilege, it would be the first case I am aware of in the United States that has ever had that holding. And I think it would also be the first case where the so-called qualified journalist privilege has not yielded to the demands of
out of here.
And the interests
You guys
of
trying to say
the
that
government in terms of vindicating search
attorney-client
warrants
privilege
and criminal law
is more important than.
And finally, if I could, Your Honor, a
go right ahead.
Judge Krepp's order also set a time, I believe, for Mr. Carney to provide the Commonwealth with the passwords to these electronic devices. And I don't know whether there's been a formal answer on the record to that.
Let me ask Mr. Bradle. Do you have a response to that? About Judge Krepp's order?
About passwords, Your Honor?
I'm sorry. Do you know what paper that was, Mr. Cosgrove?
I'm afraid I don't off the top of my head, Your Honor.
All right. So what you're saying is that there's an order from Judge Krepp that orders Mr. Carney to provide the password to the device?
Yes, it's set out in the procedure of Judge Krepp's order.
All right.
And you know, I don't know if well, let's put it this way: if Mr. Carney has already provided that to the court, we need it, or rather, Mr. Verino needs it in order to feasibly open the devices. If Mr. Carney is contending that he's forgotten the passwords, you know, we need to know that so that we can,
oh
Mr.
my
Verino
fucking God, man.
under what measures he can
For God's sake.
crack the devices without the password. Or if Mr. Carney is maintaining that he has a Fifth Amendment privilege against disclosing the password.
You realize you don't have that much time left on earth,
still,
right, bro?
I would tell
Can
Mr.
you get
Verino,
to
or
it?
ask the court to tell Mr. Verino that he may proceed while proceedings are underway here. But I would then file a motion to have the court adjudicate whether he in fact has such a Fifth Amendment privilege.
Okay. Mr. Bradle?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So at this time, we're not pressing any Fifth Amendment issue. My remembrance of the case law on that is not, it's not particularly solicitous.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think that there's a case on point from the SJC.
Right. But Your Honor, some of those devices are pretty old, and some of them are old and not Mr. Carney's. So there's some issues there. What I would suggest on that is that if there is, I happen to know that the state police do have at least one, if not two, of the passwords of the devices that I think they're primarily interested in. And my thought is that they can report back if they have any issues, and we can take it from there.
Okay.
Is that all right?
That's not the order. The order is that he's to turn over the passwords.
Right. Mr. Bradle, have you responded to that in any way? Have the passwords been turned over? Is there?
Judge, I think that
I mean, if I don't, obviously, as you both know, I've come into this afternoon after one of my colleagues has been recused. So I'm trying to just kind of narrow the issue here a little bit.
Sure, Judge, we're not opposed to doing that. My thought was that we were resolving this stuff, and then once the court was given the green light for the taint team, we'd be happy to do whatever
Okay,
the order say.
all right. Okay, I get it.
I just was sort of chronologically looking at it, this was the next thing, and then
Yeah.
we'll be happy to comply with whatever the order is.
Well, you already got an order from Judge Krupp, so what I would suggest is I'll give you 10 days to comply with that, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Next thing, Mr.
And
Cosgrove.
I am agnostic, Your Honor, as to whether I will yield to Mr. Bradle's preference as to whether he wants to go forward on my bail revocation motion or whether he wishes to press his discovery motion at this time.
Okay.
Judge, I'd like to be heard on the motion to compel, if I may.
Okay. The motion to compel. Go right ahead, Mr. Bradle.
Thank you, Judge. I'm not going to belabor it. I'm not going to just repeat the written filing, Judge. But, it's been a long time. There's been many discovery orders in the case. One comes to mind, May 8th, from Judge Cahalane of last year. And still here we are. And there's also, if I may, Judge, there's some qualitative issues that we have as well. We've gotten screenshots of text messages, very important text messages.
There we go.
And that is just not an adequate measure of compliance with providing text messages, Your Honor, because we don't have the whole string. We don't have the metadata.
Right.
And something that just occurred in the Karen Reed case the other day, excuse me, was that a witness named Kerry Roberts took screenshots of her text messages that were provided to the defense as screenshots. Here, same exact situation as we are here. And did not, in my opinion, give good faith answers to foundational questions about whether they were her text messages. And these text messages were not admitted. So here we are. And that's a perfect example of why screenshots of text messages, sorry, are not something that ought to be satisfactory. So we need the digital copies of these items. They're ordered, they're supposed to be given, and these sort of piecemeal pieces of paper with no foundational support, no assurance that it's the entire string, and they're really not the entire string. These really need to be given to the defense as a matter of due process, Your Honor.
Exactly.
And I can say the cases, but you know them.
Okay, let me hear from Mr. Cosgrove on that.
Before I get to that, Your Honor.
No.
I would like to
Wait.
address a few things. Specifically, I would like to start with the affidavit that has been submitted in support of the motion.
Okay.
Has Your Honor had an opportunity to review that?
Which paper is it? Here you go. Let me see. Yeah.
Well, let me see if I have an
Oh,
extra
yeah.
copy.
Okay, I'm familiar with that.
Thank you. All right. I know Your Honor looked at it and entered a preliminary order.
Yeah.
Allowing the motion for impoundment pending today's proceedings. And I want to place the court on notice that I object largely to the order of impoundment. I don't object the impoundment of the name of the witness in item number 8, who is allegedly described with an obscenity, although that is the least of the characterizations of his behavior, allegedly described that way by Ms. Peter. But I do object to the affidavit being supported by what in effect, for the record, would be an anonymous affiant. I particularly object to that because before the ink was dry, Mr. Carney essentially outed the name of the affiant on his own YouTube presentation, and her identity was discerned by Ms. Peter the same day and was the subject of an extensive post on YouTube. So there is no
You mean Kate
no
Peter
purpose
doctor
at this point, Your Honor,
and cause her
to
to have to leave
allowing
her fucking apartment
for her to pretend to
because of
hide
the harassment she got?
Behind an impoundment
Okay,
order.
I get it.
All right. Moving on to that, Your Honor. I object to the affidavit. I think that Mr. Carney should produce the affiant, or that the affidavit should be stricken. This affidavit largely recounts purported hearsay by Ms. Peter. And I'm not going to go through them all one by one, but I will say, for example, that the assertions set forward in the affidavit are so preposterous and outlandish on their face.
Really? Is that why his bail's about to be
that
revoked?
I really,
and Jennifer McCabe's on the stand testifying right now?
I don't mean to be overly critical of brother counsel, but I really question the judgment of counsel for Mr. Carney in going forward and filing it. For example, if Your Honor will look at
asshole.
Item 6, supposedly Ms. Peter said, and the affiant repeats it as gospel, that at one point in the jury deliberations, Ms. Peter met with a prosecutor for lunch, and that during the lunch meeting, doesn't say where, doesn't say when, during the lunch meeting, the prosecutor was indiscreet enough to tell Ms. Peter that he knows the foreperson, who is a retired police officer, and he, the juror, is guaranteeing a mistrial. Now, does that make sense to you, Your Honor? That
when you look at all the facts of the last trial, it makes perfect sense. Yes.
And I don't know if the named prosecutor has appeared in front of you or not, or has an impression of you have an impression of his ethical qualities, but he would have to be both unethical and stupid to both engage in this kind of
he's a mob lawyer.
Jury tampering, and there's nothing else you can call it, and essentially
I agree.
Contacting a juror to fix the outcome of the jury trial, and then turn that information over to a woman who is a known YouTube blogger. That's one.
To control the public.
In item 7, she indicates that she, Ms. Peter, is paid $1,500 each month via Cash App for her assistance in the Karen Reed and Aiden Carney prosecutions. Well, I'm tempted to make light of this, Your Honor, and say that if the district attorney is paying Ms. Peter that money, he's not getting his money's worth, because I haven't heard from Ms. Peter in the entire time that I've been representing the Commonwealth in this case. But put that aside,
get him, buddy.
Cash App has records, as I understand it. It has records from what bank account to what bank account. I don't know what Mr. Bradle did to verify this, but I don't see any records from Cash App, and I would like to examine.
I'd like to see those records too.
Call Antonio, excuse me, so far it's still impounded, but I guess I've been about the 9 millionth person to let the name out of the cat out of the bag.
And I move that it be stricken.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Cosgrove.
I would like to examine the affiant as to that information and what, if anything, that she did to verify. The affiant then says that she personally has heard Ms. Peter on the phone with Hank Brennan, that she personally recognized Hank Brennan's voice.
Okay.
That Peter told him that her people leaked it to the media, referring to the federal investigation being over. Well, I think the people who, putting aside the fact that I think the person who leaked it to the media effectively was the U.S. attorney on a radio interview who responded to the question of whether she had communicated with the Commonwealth and the police department as to the progress of that investigation by saying that she couldn't verify whether a grand jury investigation was over, but that it would not be uncommon for her office to communicate with law enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. Anyone who had any sophistication knew what she was saying. And about a week later, the district attorney's office verified in open court that that was the case. So I don't know why we needed Ms. Peter to leak that to the media when we were announcing it in open court, but at any rate, it's in there.
A U.S. attorney?
I would like to examine the affiant as to how she knows Mr. Brennan's voice, how she knows about these multiple conversations, when they took place. And finally, I'll skip over the rest of them for the most part.
Thank you.
But I come to items 14 and 15, in which Ms. Peter informs her that Jennifer McCabe bought her a brand new sectional, I assume she's referring to a sofa, as compensation for her assistance. Not quite sure how Ms. Peter has assisted witness Jennifer McCabe, but maybe it's revealed in the next section where
come on, man.
Section 17, where
I thought he died. I thought he dropped dead.
Peter informs her that Jennifer McCabe paid her for her show of support. Well, subsequently know that apparently the affiant lives in the same apartment building of Ms. Peter, who has not denied in her own posting that she knows this particular witness. And presumably she knew that Ms. Peter had a brand new sectional. I suggest that the information that Jennifer McCabe brought her a brand new sectional is made up out of whole cloth. And I'm not going to go through it all because I'm hoping the court will give me an opportunity to examine this witness on the witness stand.
The fucking sofa.
But
the big sofa caper.
I think the court could ask itself why this particular affidavit is being submitted now in support of what I would suggest would otherwise be a fairly routine thing that comes before judges, motions to compel discovery.
Okay. Let me hear from Mr.
And
oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
And I suggest that the reason is this, and the court can make its own judgment. And my assessment is that the purpose of the motion is to dirty Jennifer McCabe. I don't think it's an accident that Jennifer McCabe was testifying today.
No shit.
In the
I'm
other
glad
courtroom,
you said it too.
And yesterday in the other courtroom. And I suggest that the purpose of this motion, which has been loudly trumpeted by Mr. Carney on his YouTube show.
Okay, asshole. Nobody knew Jennifer McCabe was going to testify yesterday and today
accomplish his
when that motion was
purpose
filed,
of
when that
prejudicing the
affidavit was
jury
filed.
in that trial.
Dickhead. But
Let me just talk to the attorneys.
Jennifer McCabe was on the stand when this bail revocation fucking came up, right? So no, it's not a coincidence. I agree with you, but you're sitting here leaving out the most important part. You went down a list of all of the accusations made in this affidavit, except the one where Jen McCabe threatened and gave an ultimatum saying that she would not testify unless Aiden Carney's bail was revoked. And here she is testifying, and now the day that she's being cross-examined, his bail is being revoked. There's a motion to revoke his bail anyway. And you're trying to claim that it's not a coincidence that she's on the stand and he filed this motion days before anybody could have known that Jen McCabe was going to go on the stand? Homie just gave himself away. That was Freudian as fuck.
Mr. Cosgrove, the floor is yours.
I will stop at this point unless Your Honor has questions.
That's fine. All right, Mr. Bradle.
Thank you, Judge. So, Judge, a lot to respond to. First of all,
why was that affidavit attached to the motion to compel?
Because, Your Honor, that's the basis to show that this information exists. The Commonwealth has not provided any of those things related to Kate Peter. And my colleague, Mr. Better, who I know is watching here from New York, he wrote a letter to counsel for the Commonwealth in, I want to say, October of 24. That was the first of his 3 letters that he wrote, pointing out all kinds of these things. Ms. Peter has been under oath at other hearings, my client's restraining order hearings against her, where she has said under oath that she's cooperating with the Commonwealth. She has said it many times online that she's cooperating with the Commonwealth.
She's claimed that she's bragged about it.
To this day, our third motion to compel, discovery orders, the discovery was due a year ago, Judge, and we still have nothing. And so this woman came to us, Judge, April 21, Patriots Day, came to us Monday, April 21. And we did what a lawyer needs to do in that situation, which is we memorialized it, she signed an affidavit, and we submitted it as further proof upon Mr. Bettero's letter that this information exists. And now we have it from the horse's mouth, Your Honor. So that's the answer to your question. This woman is saying to the affiant that she is working with the Commonwealth, giving all these details about making money, about meeting with these people, about receiving funds. A lot of this has been corroborated by other people on the internet as well, Your Honor, which we're in the process of gathering up. But this affidavit, Judge, was submitted for Mr. Carney. It's got nothing to do with the Reed case. It has information in it that's important to the Reed case. We are not the Reed case. I am here today defending Mr. Carney from these scandalous allegations that just absolutely seek to destroy the First Amendment in Article 16.
Okay, so what's the discovery that you want compelled?
So, Judge, I want all the information from this affidavit and from our motion to compel about Kate Peter. She's a government agent. If this is all true, Your Honor, the DA's office is paying a third-party witness to intimidate witnesses in the Karen Reed and Aiden Carney case.
So what? Maybe we should hold a hearing on that.
You should hold a hearing on that, yes.
So I'll take this under advisement.
You should definitely hold a hearing on that.
I'll come up with an order as to how we should proceed on that.
You need a whole hearing on that shit.
Now, as to Mr. Cosgrove, are there any other issues that you see? Any of the other motions that you want to bring to my attention?
Here we go.
I know that I received a thumb drive earlier today that I've had a chance to review, and I'm sure Mr. Bradle has a copy of that.
Here we go.
Yes, I provided Mr. Bradle with a copy when I saw him earlier this morning. I don't know that he's seen it. I would like to play it for the court if I could.
Yeah, no, you can play it. So, Mr. Bradel, this is Mr. Cosgrove's motion to have your client's bail revoked, I guess.
Yes, Judge.
So
Okay.
here comes
If I
the
may, Judge?
YouTube video.
So I'm going to start with Mr. Cosgrove,
sir.
and I'll go over to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
As Your Honor may know, I'm pretty much a computer illiterate, but fortunately, advocate has stepped into the breach and helped me out here. What's that?
Mr. Bradel, you want to come up?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
So for the record, Your Honor may or may not be aware that Nicholas Guerrero was another trooper in another.
Yeah, I was on, who is that? Tell me who Guerrero is.
Oh, he's just responsible for.
He's a trooper in the Karen Reed case, and he's an
multiple
electronics
murder cases.
expert that's did the analysis of the two devices of Mr. Carney's that were already searched, and that aren't really the subject of this whole tainting thing, and also did the analysis in the other case that he mentioned and has been defamed as supposedly missing all kinds of communications, which is not true.
No, it's true.
He was, as is alluded to, in an unfortunate car accident that you hear Mr. Carney taking pleasure in. So,
taking pleasure in.
Let me start with a couple of things, Your Honor.
No, I don't
could
take
for the
pleasure in it,
moment.
but I do take pleasure in
time.
Aiden's taking pleasure in it. I'm not going to lie about that. It's funny.
Having had to put this together at the last minute because the presentation just came to my attention the other day, I didn't have directly in front of me the orders that Your Honor entered, although I think I summarized them correctly in my memorandum. But as I understand it, according to the docket on March 5th of this year, after I initially brought this to Your Honor's attention, the docket entry records that the court orders defendant to have no contact, direct or indirect, through third parties with any of the witnesses or victims in this case, and 2, stay 100 yards away from any victim's residence or place of work. Defendant assents, bail warning red. Now, as I recall, that was sort of a provisional order, and at that time, even more so than today, I had just got the information of relative to Mr. Kearney's antics outside D&E Pizza in Canton. Mr. Bradel hadn't really had time to absorb it. I didn't have police reports to give him. So Your Honor may remember that you put it over to the following day for hearing. After hearing that day, the docket reads as follows: additional conditions of release. 1, stay away. No contact, direct or indirect, with the named witnesses in his Superior Court cases. 2, stay 100 yards away from D&E Pizza in Canton, Mass. 3, behave in appropriate manner while in any courthouse.
So the direct or
or
indirect
within
thing is what's
300
going to
feet
get
of
him,
the building. Defendant assents.
if anything does.
Bail warning red. So with that clarification, Your Honor, I'd like to begin. We indicted Mr. Kearney
Yeah, what happened to Chris Albert being
because
charged with
in our view,
wiretapping?
he was engaged in a campaign of intimidating the witnesses. After we indicted him, one of those methods he essentially ceased, and that was leading parades of automobiles outside witnesses' homes and places of business. But he did not otherwise decease. So what we have here, Your Honor, is the most extreme recent example of Mr. Kearney's behavior. And if I wanted to bring these to the court's attention, I could probably do it about 4 times a week. But just to give you some other examples, if I might, of Mr. Kearney's
Intimidation
latest hit.
as you see it.
Go right ahead.
Within a week or 2 of the last time I brought his behavior to your attention, he was on a live broadcast mocking Elizabeth Proctor, a witness in the Reed case, for thinking she was blue, unquote, or a member of a blue family, because family members were police officers, and because she gave oral sex to her husband, who was a police officer. And he went on in the oral sex vein for some time. One can imagine the effect that that has on a witness, knowing that she's being humiliated in front of hundreds,
You mean like
thousands
husband, like her husband did
Dealt with by the court.
You mean like
He's
that?
giving me some history, so
Police
it's overruled. I'll listen to your recitation.
This guy's shit is
I
unbelievable.
informed the court the last time, and the court viewed it, of his show up and antics before the Albert's Pizza Shop. I have personally routinely heard him refer to the presiding justice online of the Reed trial as a cunt. He engages in constant defamation, for example, of Jennifer McCabe as a murderer, and he has described the others as murderers. And in general, he is aware and has remarked, I think this is another thing I brought to Your Honor's attention the last time, has remarked with satisfaction that the results of his broadcasts have made it difficult for these people to go out in public
speaking out of
without being
turn,
harassed and without being
without
mocked.
raising his hand.
I would suggest that Mr. Kearney wanted this communication to be conveyed to Lieutenant Tully, knew to almost a certainty that Lieutenant Tully would see it, wishing death in the most horrible fashion to him and his wife, and knew that that would excite others of Mr. Kearney's followers to pile on, so to speak. I'd like to introduce an exhibit, Your Honor. I provided a copy to Mr. Bradel. I'll give him an opportunity to object, but I would suggest it could be marked for identification.
Yeah, we'll mark it for identification.
And
you could just give it to Soraya. Okay.
I do object, Judge, based on relevance, materiality, foundation.
Why don't you give this a ride? Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And just so we're clear, Judge, I don't even think the Commonwealth is suggesting this has anything to do with Mr. Carney sending that. Which, of course, he did not.
Well, I'm happy to agree with what Mr. Bradle.
We'll mark it for ID, sir.
With what Mr. Bradle just said, Your Honor.
Okay.
But it is always Mr. Kearney's response that when these witnesses are deluged with harassment immediately following his broadcast and thereafter, that, oh, of course, he had nothing to do with it. He didn't send it. But he knows what happened. And I would suggest to you, Your Honor, that this is relevant, not because Mr. Kearney sent it, but one, because the court could conclude that it was a logical outcome of the kind of scorn and hatred poured out upon Lieutenant Tully and his family. And two, that Mr. Tully, Lieutenant Tully, who is well familiar with these reactions, upon reading or listening to or being informed of Mr. Kearney's broadcast, could reasonably fear reactions from these sort of nuts directed at his wife and family. And I suggest that his reasonable fear is evidence of intimidation of a witness. And on that basis, Your Honor, I would ask that it be marked as an exhibit.
Yeah, we'll mark the disc as the next exhibit.
And I would further ask that it be impounded, because I don't want the comments made in that out there to give any other people.
Yeah, I'll impound it.
Encouragement.
Margaret, is the disc. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to belabor this, Your Honor.
Can I just go back with you, Attorney Cosgrove?
Yes.
As to Exhibit A, could you explain that to me a little bit more?
One you just marked?
This one right here.
Yes. At about whatever time is indicated on the top of the email, I received that email from Lieutenant Tully indicating that he had received that communication from this person, who, so far as I know, is unknown to all of us. Whether his identification is genuine or pseudonymous, I have no knowledge, and that he received it through LinkedIn. And that's about all the background that I can give, Your Honor.
To your knowledge, though, this says
somebody's going on LinkedIn and fucking sending shit
strike
to
that.
Tully.
What's the
To my
relation?
knowledge, I do not allege that Mr.
Let me tell you guys something. If you're doing that, you're fucking
I
stupid.
allege, number one,
You're an
that
asshole
it may well
and you're
be.
Stupid.
One could infer.
Like, there's no reason to reach out to these people and do that
it
shit.
is the result of Mr. Kearney's broadcast.
Okay,
He provoked
I got
it.
you.
And two, I infer that one could infer that Lieutenant Tully reasonably anticipated these kinds of responses. You know, I don't know if this nut is going to be motivated to go out and try to assist in a car accident or in burning things down. And, you know, when somebody...
Oh, my God. Dude.
When somebody says to an audience that Jesus told him, Jesus wants revenge.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
How does that play in revenge in the form of somebody being burnt up in the most painful way?
Dude, spit it out.
You know, Mr. Kearney expresses concern that I gather what Lieutenant Tully is supposed to have done to his children is arrest Mr. Kearney on one occasion pursuant to a warrant at the bus stop after
Gopher, shut up.
Kearney dropped his children off.
Dolphin fans like you are the reason why they keep losing.
If Mr. Bradel had looked at the discovery that the Commonwealth turned over of the body cameras of the arrest, he would observe the officers carefully waited for the children to get on the bus and be on their way before their father was arrested. But yet, this is continually held out as a crime, while at the same time, Mr. Kearney has no compunction about wishing death on Lieutenant Tully's children and wife. So, Your Honor, I make those two arguments. One, that this was posted with a sure and certain knowledge and intent that it comes to Lieutenant Tully's attention, which in fact has happened. And two, I make the point that a no contact order means no contact.
Dude, how do you argue a case
content,
from a coma?
You know, before Your Honor, here's the First Amendment argument.
How the fuck do you do that?
The content of the contact is irrelevant as far as whether there was a violation of the order. And I'd just like to call Your Honor's attention, if I can do it, to a case that I cited in my memorandum to Your Honor. I believe I cited it for another purpose, but it's O'Brien versus Borowski at 461 Mass 14. In the course of that case, the court refers to the Cho case on page 424 of the opinion, and it summarizes that case as follows. The defendant produced flyers with the word missing printed in large type across the top, between which was a photograph of a former girlfriend who had broken up with him and offensive sexual remarks about her, and he then hung the flyers in several places in her high school. He was convicted under a statute which criminally punishes persons with offensive and disorderly acts of language accost or annoy persons of the opposite sex. We, that's the appeals court, concluded that the defendant's criminal conviction for this communication did not violate the First Amendment because it was a true threat that had no expressive purpose, but was instead intended to get back at the victim by placing her in fear that she might suffer some sexual harm or wind up among the missing.
So stupid.
Your Honor can look a long time, I think, at the language of Mr. Kearney's message in an attempt to distinguish it from the Cho case in terms of the language having no expressive purpose, but instead being intended to get back at Lieutenant Tully by placing him in fear that he or his family might suffer some harm. In fact, what other meaning are we to draw from revenge? But apart from that, Your Honor, even if there's some far-fetched First Amendment phrase somewhere lurking in this message, the other material is not protective, and the violation of the order does not consist of the language, but simply the context. Now, the other string in my bow, Your Honor, is the argument that this is again a violation of the intimidation
Jesus
of the
Christ,
statute.
bro. Low pan. Wrap it up.
Mr. Kearney and I have gone back and forth on that statute and how it should be construed and how it should not be construed. Your Honor currently has it under advisement. You see my arguments in my memorandum here with respect to this case. I won't belabor them in oral argument. So I will rest at that point.
Okay.
And let
Mr. Bradel, tell me about that word revenge and how am I supposed to interpret that?
Judge, this is not a threat. This is not contact.
This is satire. This is all protected. I am so sick of having to come before a court because of Norfolk County.
Get him, Brado.
And talk about speech that Norfolk County
Argue to
doesn't
me,
like.
not to anybody else. Just tell me about that word revenge.
Revenge.
Yeah, keep your cool.
Excuse me 1 second.
Yep, no, take your time. You can confer with your client.
Keep your cool, Brado. Like, Brado's pissed, man. Like I'm sick of fucking being here over this shit. Like, the dude is a fucking satirist.
Judge, my client is allowed to have hopes and desires and wishes that you or me or Mr. Cosgrove don't agree with their own life.
Right.
Or are repelled by. You know, why do we keep having to come back here? I don't know what it must be like to wake up on the wrong side of the First Amendment every day. This is protected speech, Your Honor, over and over again. The Supreme Court has spoken for decades and decades. Brandenburg, Watts, Chaplinsky, O'Brien v. Borowski, Welch. Judge, this is a waste of this court's time. This is intentional infliction of emotional distress on my client. The Commonwealth has been rebuffed over and over and over on this exact scenario. He is not contacting a witness. He is not threatening a witness. He is talking about someone who has destroyed his life, Your Honor. He is allowed to lash out back.
Fuck yeah.
And the First Amendment
Protects
grants
him to do
every
that. Yes.
declarant this room to talk without fear, without the kind of fear that this county has inflicted on Mr. Carney over and over and over again.
Fuck
and it has to stop, Your Honor. This is First Amendment protected speech. I don't care. We don't like it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He is not threatening Tully. He is not contacting Tully. He is a reporter with his own style of satire that is addressing a large audience, and he is doing a major service pointing out over and over and over again corruption in this county, perversion of the First Amendment, abuse of the witness intimidation statute, Your Honor. This has got to stop. I don't want to come in here anymore and pretend like, gee whiz, this is a close call. It's not, Your Honor. This is First Amendment protected activity that the court, I have every confidence that this court is going to vindicate. This cannot happen over and over again. I get a motion to destroy my client's liberty 3 hours before every single time they want to do this. I get communications, oh, we're not going to try to revoke his bail. Then I go to Stoughton, they want to revoke his bail. What are they doing? They're corroborating the affidavit we talked about 5 minutes ago, where Jennifer McCabe said, I'm not going to
I'm interested in that. I'm interested about the word revenge.
Judge, he can say revenge. He hopes it's revenge on a bad guy that's been destroying him. We cannot engage in this kind of content-based viewpoint discrimination. We don't have to like the viewpoint.
He's got to explain.
But like Voltaire's biographer said, we have to defend to the death his right to say it. And that's all this is, Your Honor, over and over again with this. Excuse me 1 second, please, Your Honor.
No, take your time.
Like, tell the judge he said that Jesus is taking revenge.
And Judge, in this context, to address your question,
not him.
In this context, Judge, revenge means karma. He's not saying, I'm going to go get revenge on you. He's saying that karma's a bitch, is what he's saying, Your Honor. And he's allowed to say that. And this isn't something that is intended to be played on a judge's bench in the formality of the courtroom. This is something that he is talking to his viewers online. And he's allowed to do that, Your Honor. So we have got to stop this charade that this is somehow, gee whiz, we got to lock him up because he's talking and satirizing, engaging in political hyperbole, protected by Watts, Brandenburg. The only thing he can't say are true threats and fighting words. We all know that 100 times over. Why are we here, Your Honor? I ask that you deny the motion and just please issue a ruling that settles this issue once and for all, that this has a chilling effect, Your Honor. Every time we're here, how many journalists do we have in this room?
Okay, I'm up here. Director remarks to me, not to anybody
No,
else.
I'm just looking to see if there's.
No, I'm up here.
There's journalists
Yeah, he's
cover this
losing the
case.
judge, man. Come
They
on,
are
Bradel. Get
experiencing
it
a
together,
chilling
buddy.
effect. Am I next?
Keep it
Is
cool.
the Commonwealth
Chill
going to go
out.
after me next? How far can I go? Can I show up at someone's door and knock on the door? Oh, did I intimidate somebody? Is Norfolk County
I've
going to go
never
after
seen
me?
Bradel this
We don't
fired
know.
up.
We don't know what they're capable of. And Your Honor, you're the bulwark here. This is the First Amendment we're talking about. We're kicking this around like it's some city ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to take it under advisement. Mr. Kenny, please stand up. You're walking on kind of thin ice. I'm going to review everything and I'll come out with an order. But I take what Mr. Cosgrove has presented very seriously. I also take into account that there are certain First Amendment rights here as well. And then the issue is always how far does the First Amendment take you and when does it become intimidation of a witness? The word revenge, some of those other words that are on that tape are getting very, very close. So I'll take it all under advisement. Let me just see the lawyers at Sidebar.
Thank you.
And Aiden would not be doing his job properly if he wasn't dancing on the line of what is appropriate and what isn't. What good would he be? What the fuck good would I be? You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about that. Like in my case, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Aiden. But in my case, I look at it like, what the fuck good would I be to you guys? Now, I could conform and I could play by the YouTuber rules and follow those videos that tell you this is how you make your channel grow.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
mic
blah,
is muted.
blah, blah, blah.
So I can, for whatever reason, I opened it. I went to the tab on Chrome, and then when it opened the Zoom, it's in a window.
You're muted on there, though, right? So they can't hear you
Hold on.
talking?
Bob's on. Bob, no,
Yeah.
You know,
we can,
you're not.
we can hear you, Bob. We can hear you, Bob. Not good. Yeah. I love Bob. Dude, like I forgot what I was saying. I was on a rant and I forgot what I was saying because Bob Mata jumped on the Zoom and started talking. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. It's like, yeah, yeah. I remember where I was and what I was talking about. I can only speak for myself, but like, to me, I could dance the dance and fucking do all the shit that I could do to fucking be, you know, to attract more viewers, to get more subscribers, to manipulate the algorithm. You know, I could do all that shit. But the problem is that I don't care about a bunch of the fucking viewers that I could have. I care about the viewers I already have. I'm trapped whether I like it or not. That's it. Like, I'm from now on have to run my channel the way that I do. Period.
In about 5 weeks.
Because it's who I am and it's what you guys expect.
Could I suggest June 18th or June 20th?
Is the 20th available?
That work for you, Mr. Cosgrove?
I'm looking here, Your Honor.
Okay.
June 20th, that's a Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the Friday.
Yes, I think Mr. Bradel and I are supposed to be trying the district court case relative to Mr. Carney on the 9th of June, but it should be concluded by
Yeah, I would think
the
so.
20th.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fine. 2 o'clock or
Okay, the 20th at 2.
Yeah, and
Thank you. I'll see you all then. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
may I try your patience with one
Can try my
further
patience.
comment on the last
I'll
issue
sit
we
right
argued,
down. Go right ahead.
which is that, like Mr. Bradle, I am very tired of coming back here with
Bob,
these motions.
I'm sure you take your.
I honestly think that if the court does
Up,
not
Aiden?
act to protect the witnesses,
Are we still?
we're gonna be back in front of you very soon because he doesn't stop.
Okay. Mr. Brado, I'll give you a short response. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Judge, it's protected activity.
It's
That's all there is to
protected
it.
speech.
Okay, thank you. All right,
It's that simple.
thank you.
Okay, we'll see you, June 20th at 2 PM.
Are we gonna get a ruling
20th.
today on my
Oh shit, the Zoom cut off. Are we going to get a ruling today on my motion? I guess we'll just have to keep. He's not going to fucking send Turtleboy to jail today. He's going to consider it. So that's all that's going to happen here. Let's see what Jess Machado's saying. So annoying, dude. Yeah, wow. Jessica Machado is like very vocal here. She's not pinned down to Fall River Reporter anymore. She's independent. So she's tweeting her heart out here. So for clarification, there will be no bail revocation today. It has been taken under advisement. It is being taken under advisement. That is it. That's done. That's over. It's done. For now. But the fact of the matter is Aiden Carney said things that could be deemed offensive. Did they offend me? Not even a little bit. Did they offend Tully? Sure, of course. But here's the thing. You're a cop, dude. You're a cop and you're weaponizing your badge to harass someone, to falsely charge them. We went over all the charges. All of Turtleboy's charges are bullshit. They're all protected. Everything that he did is protected under the First Amendment. The fact is that the law that was used to charge Turtleboy in the first place, Aiden Carney, the law that was used to charge him, what is it? Chapter 28, Section A, B, Section 13A, 13B. Isn't that it? 28, 13A, 13B, if I remember correctly. That law that Mello used to charge the Canton 9, which was dismissed, by the way, but for some reason, Aiden is still, he doesn't have access to his devices. They seized his devices. He's already had his bail revoked, where he could prove that he was set up to have his bail revoked, by the way, and went to jail for 2 months. Could have copped a plea just to make this all go away, started talking about another case, but he didn't. Right? But he's charged under this very unconstitutional law that as long as this law exists in Massachusetts, it is going to be weaponized, because the truth of the matter is, because it is an unconstitutional law, it can only be used as a weapon. It can only be weaponized. It cannot be applied. An unconstitutional law in the United States of America cannot be applied. It can only be weaponized. That is a fact. That is not disputable. That is not debatable. Yeah, I have that donated to the top of the chat, guys, if anybody wants to help Aiden out. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Yeah, I say the same shit, dude. Like, if you don't like what you see, fuck off. It's okay. Nobody's going to be upset about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at nobody. You know? Like, I have never, ever seen Timothy Bradle that fired up. I've never heard him that fired up in my life. Like, it's so funny because one could look at it like, oh my God, Turtleboy, because I joked about it and I said, yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, fucking Bradle and Guerrero, man, they got their hands full with Aiden, you know, because for sure they do. But they know what they're getting into. They gladly protect Aiden. The reason why they do is because they believe in free speech as much as Aiden does. So when people are going, oh my God, poor Bradle and poor Guerrero, like, yeah, in jest, sure. But the truth be told, they love this shit. This is what you fight for. This is what you sign up to be a lawyer for. This is what you take the bar for. So you can actually fight for something. So yeah, Bradle, he's fired up, but he's not mad at Aiden. He's mad because his Tully got butthurt over some shit that wasn't even a threat. Wasn't even a threat. It was just satire. Dumb shit. Dude, I've heard Howard Stern say way worse shit in his heyday. You know what I'm saying? I've heard Howard Stern say way worse shit back in the fucking 80s. Like, this is what Bradle and Guerrero are doing, are fighting for free speech. Yes, they're representing Aiden, but what they're doing is what's going on here. It's not the way to look at it. You guys aren't looking at it from the right perspective if you're thinking that Bradle and Guerrero are there just to fucking defend Aiden and bail him out of shit when he gets in trouble because he runs his mouth and he gets himself into trouble too much. You're looking at things the wrong way because that's not necessarily how it is. The truth of the matter is that Aiden is challenging those who challenge his freedom of speech by testing limits, by saying, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. Where's the line? Where the judge is sitting there going, where's the line? Turtleboy's 2 steps ahead of the judge already. Turtleboy is all out there going, I want to know where the line is. Because I don't believe there is a line. And I agree with him. I don't believe there is a line either. There is no fucking line. Free speech is free speech and it is absolute. And I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. You're free to think whatever you want. But the fact is, in my opinion, free speech is free speech. I am not responsible for your feelings. You are responsible for managing your own feelings. If I got to be responsible for managing my own feelings, then you got to be responsible for managing your own feelings. To some degree, I am a public figure. I have people lying on me all over Twitter. I have people fucking doxing. I have people blasting my family's names out there on Twitter, but I'm not going to shut up. You know why I'm not going to sit there and get whiny and bitchy about it and try to shut them down? Because what they're doing is even protected under free speech. I don't like what they're doing, but it's still protected under free speech. And ironically, I would still fight for that person's free speech and speak up. I can't stand Jonathan Lee Riches, dude. And yes, I hope that motherfucker catches fire, spontaneously combusts. I believe that shit. That's how I feel about that guy. I can't fucking stand that guy. But the fact of the matter is that if he was arrested in that buffer zone for simply being in the buffer zone, I'd be defending him. because he has a right. Whether I like the guy or not, he has a right. He has rights just as much as I do, just as much as all of you do. Everyone has rights. And you don't get to cherry pick who has rights and who doesn't based on how you feel about them. It's not how that is not how independence works. That's not how liberty works. You'll never see me try to shut someone down because they're saying things I don't like. Never. Trying to lock somebody up because your feelings got hurt. Get the fuck out of here with that. Dude, are you kidding me, dude? Chris Albert's going to weaponize the law. He's going to use his influence to get someone else to weaponize the law against Turtleboy for standing in front of a security camera and talking, not even knowing that there's audio recording. What kind of fucking security camera outside of a business has audio? I've never seen that before. Now, I guess it's a thing, but I was there. I didn't think there was audio. My mindset was, oh man, if they see the security footage, they're going to look at us and think we're idiots and laugh. That's how I looked at it. At no point was I thinking about, ooh, I bet this is going to freak them out and scare them. Oh, no, man. Like, all I want to do is make people fucking laugh, dude. Even people I don't even fucking like. You know? Like, I that's all I'm about, man. That's all I've ever been about. Is like bringing joy. And I can make fun of myself. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind making fun of somebody, making somebody the joke to make everyone else laugh, because I'll make myself the joke just as quick as anybody else. You guys see this all the time. I make fun of myself all the time. I don't give a fuck about anything else other than just bringing joy to the people that I care about. And even people that I don't care so much for, I like to bring them joy in the hopes that it'll lighten them the fuck up. Seriously. Like, ultimately, like, I don't sit here and think about these trolls on Twitter and bad things happening to them. I don't think about that shit. I think about the most unrealistic fantasy in the world is that I'll say something fucking funny and then they'll go, you know what? That shit was actually pretty funny. You know? Like, there's one guy who does that. There's one guy on Twitter who's like, dude, I actually fucking respect you. Like, I think you're full of shit, but I respect you. Okay, cool, man. We don't have to fucking, like, be buddies. But I have a basic understanding that everyone has a right to their opinions and they have the right to express them, whether I like those opinions or not, whether those opinions make me feel a certain way or not. I don't want to hear something that isn't provocative in some way. It may not provoke me, but it entertains me to know that it is provocative. Why do you think people watch trashy fucking television, dude? Because it provokes. Why do you think kids listen to punk rock music in the 70s? Why do you think that people our age listened to Two Live Crew in the late 80s? Because we knew it would provoke our parents. That's why. We knew it would provoke our parents. It would provoke shit. It would shake shit up. We knew there was fundamentally nothing actually wrong with someone screaming, "Pop that pussy," over and over and over again. We knew that. And we thought it was funny because it would offend people who didn't understand the way we thought as kids. We thought it was funny. We knew adults would cringe. And it made us laugh to troll the adults in our lives. That's why I listened to Two Live Crew. I didn't think it was good music. Like, it's not even that difficult, dude, to understand. Think about the world without provocation. What would the world be like for you without provocation? Because the truth of the matter is, you like to be provoked. Every single fucking person here likes to be provoked. Right now, I am being provocative and it is entertaining you. That is a fact. Everyone here likes to be provoked. Why do we watch scary movies? Because they might scare us. Wendy, thank you so much. Imagine how fucking boring the world would be without provocation. How boring would the world be without provocation? I thrive on provocation. What is a poem designed to do? It is designed to provoke. It is designed to incite feelings, to stir your shit up in the inside, to get your thoughts going, to stir feelings inside you. That is what a song is designed to do. You listen to songs, people who like to fucking get drunk and listen to their music in their headphones. Yeah, they do that shit. And then they start crying because they listen to sad songs because they want to fucking cry. And then when somebody makes you cry and it was uncalled for, you didn't ask for it, hazard of the business, living life, walking around on the world. Hazard. That's it. Occupational hazard. You're going to hear shit that you don't like. You're going to see shit that you don't like. And it just is what it is. Learn to manage it. It is not my responsibility to manage your fucking feelings. And yes, as Annie just said, you got to use your eyes. What would the world be like without provocation? You might as well be a fucking fetus hooked up in the Matrix in those towers feeding robots. Like that might as well be your fucking existence. Provocation is the very thing that makes us human. We crave it. We thrive for it. We watch true crime documentaries because they make us feel a certain way. We follow high-profile cases because they make us feel a certain way. They make us feel human again. That is all Aiden Carney is guilty of. And they're trying to throw him in jail for it. And somehow we're debating on whether or not it's the right thing or not. No, it's a no fucking brainer. You don't like what he says, don't listen to him. He hasn't threatened anybody. Oh, words like revenge, I don't know. Like, dude, no. I like, you heard the shit. Look at the context that it's being used. You're not stupid. Listen to it. When he uses the word revenge, pay attention to context because context matters. Buzzwords don't fucking matter. The context in which they're used matters. The fact that we're sitting, that they're standing in a courtroom in the United States of America debating this issue and whether or not a guy should be thrown in jail for it or not is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. I have no patience for that shit. Like, I totally get why Bradel lost his shit today. Like, he was a little aggressive towards that judge. But my man was just like, dude, I am sick and fucking tired of standing here in the same spot, arguing the same thing over and over and over again. They just keep trying to railroad my client. Adrienne, that's very flattering, but obviously you haven't been paying attention. Because if I'm sitting here saying this shit, why the fuck would I bring those same very fucking entities that are trying to lock Turtleboy and Karen Reed up into our relationship? That would never happen, dude. That would never happen. Hey, government, can you get involved in my love life? What? You people who go out and do that shit blows my mind, bro. Like, I don't even know how the fuck, like, dude, one of these days, man, you motherfuckers that have been married since you've been like 30, you're going to hit like 49 and you're going to go, why the fuck did I get married, bro? Like, I'm in it. I love my spouse and I'm going to stick to it because I made the decision. But why the fuck did I do this? Guaranteed. You're sitting there farting into a fucking recliner and going, what was I thinking? That's it right there. That's why women do it. Yeah, I'll sign my whole fucking life away and bring the government in on my relationship so that I can dress up and have all my friends that I can have a day. Crazy. Y'all are crazy. And men do the same shit, dude. Men do the same fucking shit. Get my boys together, man. We're all wearing fucking tuxes. Dude, fucking, hey, man, my cummerbund, dude. Like, you got to have the same color cummerbund, bro. We got to go to the same tailor. We got to go to the same men's warehouse. Okay? Stupid shit. I have no patience for that kind of shit, dude. Dude, like, I used to, like, I remember I got invited to, like, be in someone's wedding, and I was, like, flattered, Like, there was one other time I wasn't asked to be in a wedding, and I felt offended by it, and then when I got asked to do it, yeah, I was like, dude, this is a burden, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a burden. Listen, I want you to be one of my groomsmen, bro. Okay. Well, you got to go to this tailor and get this tux because we all have to wear the same tux. Well, I can get the same tux for cheaper. No, it's got to be this one. It's got to be the same tux. Yeah, but that's fucking $600, dude. It's what she wants, bro. It's her day. You know how it is. It's really about him, but he's blaming it on the wife. Already the marriage is in the shitter because they're throwing each other under the bus behind each other's back, just setting up the wedding, just planning the wedding. Husband and wife are throwing each other under the bus. It's already doomed. It's already fucking doomed. Dude, it's not me, man. I mean, everything's got to be perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, here's the thing, bro. We're getting married in Hawaii. And so, yeah, and everybody's kind of flying out in the same flight. So you got to book a flight on this flight. Well, if I fly out the next day, I save like $700 on the flight. Yeah, but I got to go to Hawaii. Why do you got to get married in Hawaii, bro? what she wants, you know what I mean? I don't have patience for that shit. Don't fucking ask me to be in your wedding. It's a burden. Fuck you. No, I'm already against it. I'm going to be standing there in a tux. Does anybody have any objections to this wedding? I'm going to be standing there on the fucking altar, like right here, bro. Who's going to reimburse me for fucking ridiculous trip out here? Like, I don't understand people. Dude, I'm telling you, you get to a certain age and you feel like you circumvented all that shit. Like, you feel like a loser. You go through that phase. Like, I went through this phase where I felt like a total fucking loser. Like, dude, I'm fucking like almost 50 years old. I've never been married. Like, what the fuck do I do with my life? You know, fuck. Now I'm like, dude, how many bullets I dodged? Feel fucking great. I'm in the best shape of my life. Like, crazy. You're going to be my husband one day, Claire. No, I'm not, dude. I'm way too busy doing whatever the fuck I want. Way too busy. I'm way too busy doing absolutely fucking nothing whenever the fuck I feel like doing absolutely fucking nothing. Asking fucking, trying to figure out what you're going to eat for dinner. You know how easy that shit is for me, dude? Sometimes I just don't even eat. Sometimes just like, you know what? It's too much to think about. Just go to sleep. You know, I'm stuffing fucking cold cuts in my face. You know what I mean? It's fucking paradise, dude. Paradise. What's up? Time's ticking. So I guess I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something fucking awesome. Hold on. You got a little time. Just a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes. Here we go. Hold on. Where the fuck is? Oh, there it is. All right. Phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, they can call in. You know, that shit is crazy. I just thought yeah. Oh, here we go.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with? Oh, first caller was a dud. Way to go. Way to go. There we go.
Call from.
Hey, what's up?
You're on. Who am I speaking with? Hello.
Hey, Will, how you doing? It's Matt. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, I'm not going to do the grab ass thing with you, but thank you for everything you do. You got me through the first trial. I listened to you all the time.
Oh,
but
wow.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Oh, dude, I love you. You're the realest person on here.
Thanks,
But
Matt.
Anyway, yeah, but anyways, I don't know if I like smoked too much weed or forgot about this, but is Colin Albert not on the witness list?
No, I don't think he's on the witness. I mean, he might be on the witness list, but he's not named as a third party. I don't have the witness list memorized. I can't remember if he's on there or not. I don't imagine that he's on the witness list, but he's probably on the defense's witness list, I would imagine. But he's not.
Yeah.
And he's not allowed as a third party culprit.
Okay. Because I was looking at the witness list and I was like scrolling through it, and I went through it the whole way.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I didn't see Colin on it. Like, I don't know if that. I mean, I'm going off Twitter X. You know, I mean,
Right.
It could have been false. Who knows? You never know. But I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be called.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. A lot of people feel like he needs to be called up there. I personally am strongly entertaining the possibility that he's actually the aggressor. I think that
Completely agree.
I think that Higgins had the motive, but if I'm leaning towards who actually did the attack, I'm guessing Colin, but I don't know for sure because I don't know what happened that night. I wasn't there.
Yeah, me too. But you sort of solidified what I was thinking in my head. So
Right.
I'm glad. I mean, there's probably over a 60% chance that you and I are right. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but that's what I think. We know Karen's innocent. It doesn't matter. I love you, Will. You're the best. I'm gonna let you go. Get on the calls on.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, take care, my man.
You too, man. Be good.
Peace.
Abacus Finch, thank you. Really hate the Commonwealth is trying to revoke his bail again for such ticky-tacky stuff. However, Bradel really dropped the ball explaining the whole revenge comment. He should have kept this cool. Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that, but I'm glad to see that he's passionate. You know?
From
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, it's Kelly. How are you?
What's up, Kelly? I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. First of all, I want to say thank you for everything that you do. You're the best.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. It's very sweet of you.
And I sit there with your 12-hour marathons every time. So, but I just want to say, something's got to be done between watching Jen McCabe at the Karen Reed trial and Matt Misagash, whatever you want to call it, and now this with TV. I mean, who's going to step in and end this? I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, who holds Judge Bev accountable is the big question.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And today,
Who holds
blatantly obvious.
Who holds DA Morrissey accountable? Because he's the power behind all of this. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If the DA wasn't behind this, he would put a stop to this.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
we all know it's bigger than Karen Reed. But today in Karen Reed, you could tell Jen would look at Brennan, and then all of a sudden there's an objection, and then all of a sudden there's sustained. Whenever she wanted out of something, she just looked at Brennan, and it was over with. And it's blatantly obvious. I mean, I just can't. You know, I went to Dedham last year, and I was petrified to like go a mile per hour over the speed limit. I was waiting to get pulled over. I was waiting, you know, I mean, you don't know what they're going to do up there.
Yeah, right. It's crazy that how are you? It's like they could just make shit up and fucking lock you up if they want or charge you.
Right.
You know?
And I'll never forget, we're driving home. I
They
live in Syracuse.
they charged Peter Murphy. Fucking Peter Murphy. Canton's own. Canton cops charged him for trespassing because what? He parked at a church or something?
Yeah, it was. And look what they did with Bayo.
Yeah. And he retained Larry Foreman, the DUI
I know,
guy.
I saw
love
that.
shit. I love that shit.
I can't wait to see that.
This is gonna be like everything that's coming out of this is like huge. This is gonna be it's gonna be way too public.
And Jen, I am sorry. it didn't matter what she looked like, a crazed out psychopath on that stand today. I mean, just totally crazed out. And if she blatantly lied to the FBI, where are her shiny handcuffs, you know?
Right. She totally lied to the FBI. But
I don't care that she called them back and set the story straight. She blatantly lied to them about who she was, and then lied about who she called.
Yeah. I mean, this is wild because the FBI interviews never even got touched except for when Ryan Nagel was on the stand last trial, and all he did was mention that he was interviewed by them, but it wasn't discussed. Like he mentioned,
right?
And
he
this
said
time,
FBI, that one,
right?
Or he said the Fed,
right?
the Feds
Right.
is I think what he said.
Yeah, and then now you've got the Jen McCabe sitting up on the stand, and she's saying that the Feds came to her house. She tried to stall them. She called a bunch of people. She didn't brush her teeth, and that's why she was trying to stall.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. Stop it.
I don't know. It might take her a while to brush them bad boys, though. I mean, come on. But I mean, it's just getting crazy. So far, the defense has basically impeached everybody that has come up there. I mean, that is just freaking awesome. And to impeach your own forensic, cell phone guy? I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah,
it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's real. Again, you got to look at things because you're going to see now. I missed the second half after lunch of Jen McCabe's. I'm going to go over it probably a little later.
You're going to see Jen go into a total panic attack when he mentions the interview with Sean Good, because apparently she wasn't prepped on that. I thought her head was going to pop off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
think I'm actually going to go live again and just do a recap of that and knock it out.
What time are you going to do that?
I'm going to end this one, and then I'm going to start another one in an hour, is what I think I'm going to do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I want to ask you, because it drives me crazy. What time zone are you in? Because a lot of times I'll get your notifications that you're starting at noon, but it doesn't come on till 1. So are you an hour ahead of me?
I'm in the Eastern,
or behind me?
I'm in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, me too. But it'll say starting at noon, and then it doesn't start at noon. I get it at 1.
Oh,
so I thought that was weird.
That is weird. I don't know.
But anywho.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I won't hold you up any longer. I just had to vent.
No, I'm glad you called. Thank you.
You're welcome, and keep doing what you're doing. You're the best.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know about being the best, but I appreciate it. I'll keep going. Yeah, sometimes
okay, I'll be right there with you.
But you guys keep me going, so I appreciate it. It means the world to me. You guys mean the world to me.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, well, take care. I'm sure I'll talk again.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Will. Bye.
All right. So I think that's going to be it for this stream, guys. Yep. I think I'm going to, if you guys want to continue to hang out with me tonight, I would really love it. If anybody's interested in the Jen McCabe recap, I'm just going to go from after lunch to, hold on. Could you please do the afternoon court stream for the Turtleboy watchers that were with you for Aiden and missed the second half? That's what I'm doing. I'm going to set up a whole nother live starting an hour from now. Okay. I'm going to set up a whole nother live starting an hour from now to recap Jennifer McCabe's after lunch cross-examination. Okay. And you get some food in me and let Clubber run around a little bit outside and yeah, we'll hang out a little bit. All right, guys. thanks guys for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for putting up with my rant there. But yeah, I do that sometimes. But you guys are the best. Yeah. I appreciate all the support, and please make sure to hit the like on this and make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And if you're new subscribers, I hope you enjoy the channel moving forward. The more the merrier. As I stated before, I'm not out doing what I have to do to gain as many subs as I can, but I am grateful for the ones that I do get. And if you like what you see and you subscribe, I am grateful. And yeah, like I said, the more the merrier. So thanks for hanging out. It means the world to me. I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very, very, very soon again, my friends.